President Trump surprised all of us the other night. He came as close to a concession as he's ever going to come. You cannot expect more than this from Donald Trump. This is, in essence, a concession, even though afterwards he tried to walk it back and cover it up and act like he didn't say what he said. This is a concession. He says this: I want to thank Emily Murphy at GSA for her steadfast dedication and loyalty to our country. She has been harassed, threatened, and abused, and I do not want to see this happen to her, her family, or employees of GSA. Our case strongly continues. We will keep up the good fight, and I believe we will prevail. Nonetheless, in the best interest of our country, I am recommending that Emily and her team do what needs to be done with regard to initial protocols and have told my team to do the same. So what that means is he's green-lighting the use of about $6 million in funds that's allocated for the transition process. So there's millions of dollars in funds that are now used to start the transition and have a smooth transition from the Trump administration to the Biden administration. Because remember, there's a lot of positions in the government that are now going to change hands. And so you need to have some sort of process in place where you have, new training, for example, for various job positions. And so you need funds to do that. And up until this point, Trump was not allowing those funds to be released. Now this is him saying, okay, we're going to go ahead and let the funds be released. Now after this, he did typical, Trump stuff where he was like, no, I didn't say that I lost. No, I didn't say that I conceded. I just said it's in the best interest of the country to go ahead and maybe start a little bit of the procedure or something like that. But it's not what you say it is. I think we're still going to win. I think that we still have plenty of fight left in us. Now, of course, if you've been following this stuff, not even closely, if you've been even half paying attention to this stuff, you know the reality that there's been over 30 election cases and the Trump people have lost either all of them or maybe they won one, but it was totally inconsequential. So they either lost all of them or won one out of over 30, but it's totally inconsequential. So there is no fight left in them. They're done. In fact, you have a lot of high-profile Republican players now behind the scenes are basically telling Trump and Rudy Giuliani, wrap it up, skis. This is getting embarrassing. Everything that you're doing whenever you're on TV and you're making these arguments and you're not going to win and you just look stupid. You're going to have to chill. So he's done, and this is as close to an admission as you're going to get that he's done. By the way, I asked a poll question of you guys the other day on Twitter, and I said, is Donald Trump going to go to the inauguration? The results are amazing. 88% of you were like, no. No way is he going to the inauguration. 88% are like, of course not. Yeah, I tend to lean in that direction as well. Although I will say, if he were to go, I wouldn't be totally surprised. I feel like at the last minute he might get told that he'd be the only president to not go to the inauguration ever, and that it's a total beta cuck move, and he'd be like, oh yeah, I don't even know what you're talking about. I've always planned on going. I don't even know what you mean. So, I wouldn't be surprised if he went, but yes, my default assumption is the same as 88% of you guys, which is, no, he's not going to go to the inauguration. He's a giant baby. But this is it, man. Even though after this, he went on to say, no, I didn't say I lost. I didn't concede. I don't know what you're talking about. No concession ever. He really went hard on I didn't say the thing that I said. But this is real. As long as the wheels of the process are in motion, that's all we need. Game, set, match. Because I don't really care how Trump feels about what's about to happen, as long as it happens. As long as we have the transition of power, So he's never going to admit that he actually lost. I mean, that's obvious. He's going to be saying, it's a fraudulent election, rigged election from now until the end of time, even though there's absolutely no evidence to prove that. But the saddest thing, guys, and this one actually hurts. As I was reading through some of the responses. Man, there's some people who are so deep in that QAnon world and so deep in the hardcore pro-Trump world that they're actually saying publicly, this is just Trump doing 4D chess, bro. He's going to win. They're going to release the Kraken. That's the thing that they keep going back to. Sidney Powell's going to release the Kraken. Sidney Powell's a total crank who's, presented no solid evidence for the idea that the election was rigged, and yet she's up front making this case, and her case is so weak that even the Trump legal team and Trump himself had to let her go. But you still have like the QAnon people and the hardcore Trump people who are like, Sidney Powell's going to come out with all this evidence and totally like correct the record and stuff, and Trump's going to be inaugurated, so trust the plan, guys. I don't know what you're talking about. Donald Trump is playing 4D chess. And I actually just feel bad for those people. I feel bad for those people because those people were taken advantage of. Like there's some percentage of the population that's just kind of dim. And they're just a mark. They're ripe to be abused. And this is an instance where, the world's most successful con man, Donald Trump, did it. And now they're about to get a slap in the face of reality. Now, I'm sure they'll rationalize it from now until forever that, oh my God, it's the corrupt deep state and the election was stolen and it was rigged. But they actually, at least as of right now, they actually believe it's Donald Trump who will get 4 more years. Oh, man. I just feel bad for those people. I do. But anyway, I'm not going to lie to you guys, this was a little bit of a sigh of relief because at least up until this point, publicly, Trump has not given any indication that he's gonna be cool with, yes, the transition of power. This is the first inkling of like, okay, all right, what am I gonna do? Now I was never fully on board with the argument of like, the hardcore core resistance people who are like, it's a coup. Oh my God, it's a coup. But I thought it was disturbing enough that the president of the United States of America was not acknowledging the obvious reality of what happened in the election. Like, that's bad in and of itself without going to the extent that you think Donald Trump's going to have the military on his side and they're literally going to do a coup and they'll hold fucking Biden at gunpoint and lock him up in a cage or something come January 20th. Like, I don't think you had to go that far for it to be disturbing. It was already disturbing as is, which is that this guy just refuses to acknowledge reality. But now we have the first inkling of, even though he's going to continue to deny reality, there's a little wink and a nod of like, I got it, So anyway, there we have it. That's as close to a concession as we're going to get, so soak it in.